Let me ask you something. You are sick today with flu, cold, chest, whatever. Yeah? You go doctor. He gives a prescription. You went home and didn't take that prescription. Whose fault is it? It's not the doctor's fault. It's your fault as a patient. Now, you came to me because the kind of work I am in, where I need to treat the patient. I am the medicine of the patient. I'll do my work there. I'll help you. I'll go home. I'll tell you, Zia, once you're home, do this particular exercise, do this stretch. You didn't go and do it, and then tomorrow you ring me, hey doc, I'm still the same, or I'm not feeling better. I did my part. Please go home and do your part. Because if we don't combine these two together, how will you get the outcome?
Eyes open, hearts ready. Welcome to Wellness Deconstructed. I am Zia Jaffer, and together we're stepping into the arena of authentic well-being. Myth-busting, truth-seeking, and definitely life-changing. Break free, live boldly. It's time for a conscious uprising. Welcome to another chapter of Wellness Deconstructed. We are in Mombasa this time, and today's guest is a doctor in physical therapy with 11 years of experience. His main forte is towards pain management of musculoskeletal conditions. He combines a variety of treatment approaches like acupuncture, dry needling, dry cupping, kinesiology taping, and of course, manual therapy with osteopathic and chiropractic approach. He also factors in patients' diet, psychosocial factors, and environmental aspects in curating his treatment. And that guest today is Dr. Ammar Hassan Ali. Welcome, Dr. Ammar.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Well, I've been working with you for a really long time, so I know everything about you. But why don't you start with telling us, I know that you're a physical therapist, but how is your approach different from any other physical therapist?
So basically my work entails me to look at the patient as a whole. Don't look at the patient as a form of a car. Okay, look at it as, when you look at a car, you're only looking at that specific area that is a problem. So I would look at a patient means, if you, say example, you have a headache, I would start somewhere. Did you sleep? Have you eaten? Maybe we don't know what are your blood sugar levels. We don't know whether you had a fall. So let's start from somewhere that gives us a whole picture of how the pain came about. And from there, I would work reverse. I would not work to help you with the pain. I would work why. Let's ask the question why. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? So that we have a better understanding as a patient, and we don't take the patient as a car, like I said. We need to see in and out of everything.
Yeah, I really like that approach because you don't just like look at the surface level, like just, okay, you have a knee pain, just like apply this, do this work, and then it'll be done. But you look at all the other aspects of a person's physical health, like what maybe like you said, lifestyle conditions, diet, social conditions that might have affected a person's pain or concern that they might have, right?
So what happens is, what I've seen with other therapists is, when a patient goes to them and they say, the patient says, I have back pain. So they just ask the patient, okay, lie down. Lie down, maybe put a hot water bottle and do some simple massage and okay, goodbye. It should not work like that. That pain is the whole patient. So let's look at the pain, why? You know, and based on that, I curate the treatment, and we go ahead with what we can do best on how we can help the patient eliminate the problem that they may be having.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I know that you do different modalities, like you use different modalities other than just like manipulation, like physical manipulation. So can you talk a little bit about that?
So modalities may be used because it enhances our approach or our management towards pain. So like we discussed back pain, I would sometimes want to use a dry cup. I would sometimes want to use acupuncture needles. The reasons stay with me because I'm the one who decides what needs to be done to the patient, but definitely I would share it with the patient as to why you need this particular treatment over another treatment. And sometimes doing one treatment of that particular modality may help the patient immediately. I think you have experienced some form of treatments from me, and you know what I mean by you get relief immediately. Yeah. So when you target the problem correctly and when you diagnose it well, you get the right approach to managing the problem. And that's how we see results. That's how we see treatments working.
So I heard you say that you decide which modality works best.
Yes.
So are you able to explain like what are the different factors that might be considered before you pick a certain approach for a certain type of therapy?
So sometimes it can be, sometimes the patients, even demographics, they play a role in kind of treatment. Because example, somebody who is old, example, old meaning was about 50, 60 year old, has never heard of needles. They sometimes have a phobia towards needles, and they would say, no, I don't want, because they have not had that kind of treatment in their life. Okay, or maybe they come from a background where they'd say, I don't want anything invasive on me. So I'm left with no choice but not to use the needles. So I'd go for some other form of treatment, maybe try cuffs. If it's a Muslim, maybe they know what cupping is because there's a background in Islam about cupping, so they might agree to that. The other factors that may be involved is age. You can't needle, say a 5-year-old or even a 2-year-old. You can't needle these kind of patients. Also, you cannot needle patients who have cancer, patients who have maybe they're on blood thinners, or they have maybe some form of skin infection, some form of sickness at that moment. So those kind of factors need to be screened out, and then we can decide if the treatment is appropriate for the patient.
And how do you create this awareness amongst the patient that, okay, I'm not going to just like give you a cream or medication and fix you, but I'm going to understand the root cause, like, and maybe give you a long-term treatment? Or maybe what are the challenges that you might have faced in trying to create this awareness?
So the first step towards treatment starts by educating the patient about what we intend to do with you.
Okay.
Once you educate the patient that, look, you have this problem, this is the diagnosis, and this is how we treat this particular problem. Are you comfortable with this? Once you get the consent and they're okay, we proceed. But we can't just do things haphazardly without the patient understanding what treatment you're given. Example, you go to a doctor today, yeah, and he gives you a prescription. He gives you A, B, C, D, and doesn't tell you whether you're supposed to take it at breakfast, lunch, dinner, or after food, before food. You'll be in a confused state in spite of you getting a prescription.
Yeah, but also the other thing that the doctors do is don't tell you what this medication is exactly for. Like they will just write you 3 types of medication. Okay, this is your problem. This is 3 medications that you need to take. But they don't tell you, okay, this is going to work for this. Like the simplest thing, okay, now we know this, but like Panadol is for fever.
Yes.
Ibuprofen is for inflammation.
Yes.
But like a lot of doctors don't say that, okay, this antibiotic or this particular thing is going to work for this, or it's going to target this pain or this infection or this viral, you know. Also, a lot of doctors don't even test you before prescribing medication, saying whether it's viral or bacterial. That's my biggest problems with doctors that I have.
So you can look at it 2 ways here. Sometimes there is a negligence coming from the patient, and also sometimes there's a negligence coming from the medical professional. So you as a patient, you have all the rights to ask a doctor, why are you giving me this? Also, maybe sometimes the doctor doesn't know, maybe you're allergic to some medications. So it's your responsibility to convey this message to the doctor about what's going on here, so that he can have a better approach to you. And also, it's my advice to even other doctors, please take time, sit with the patient, treat the patient as you would be treating your own family member, and help the patient, because it's because of the patient we are where we are, not the other way around. So put the love in what you're doing, because that's what makes you different. And me and you, I've been treating you for many years. You know, I put my love into what I do, and I put my pride into what I do. And you asked me in the initially, what makes you different? This is what makes me different.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. You've been supporting me through all my pregnancies, and I've had a really good experience with you. And I know before I got pregnant this time, you were like, you better prepare your body, because we're not going to just work on pain management.
Yes.
You were helping me prepare even before I conceived, and even throughout, you were telling me like, work on your strength, work on your posture, work on this, so that when you actually your body's actually hosting another human, it can carry you well.
See, matters regarding pregnancy. It's not only the woman who is carrying the child. It's even your mental state is carrying the child. It's your physical state carrying the child. Now, how will you? It's like you're loading a tuk-tuk with cement bags. If you're not strong enough, how will you carry that weight? You'll always be complaining, I have back pain, I have a headache, my legs are not functioning, things like this. So I would advise not only you, any woman, before you conceive, yes, it's God given. Pregnancies are God given, but you also need to, prepare your body to take that pressure, take that load, take that. It's like a 9-month workout, we can say.
Yeah.
So when you're climbing a mountain, what will you be doing? You will prepare for that event for like 6-7 months. So how are you preparing your body to help that child grow, help him groom, or prepare to give birth?
And also support your body through it, right?
Yes.
I feel like a human will grow in your body irrespective of what you do.
Correct.
But it will just take stuff away from a
Yeah.
woman's body. Like if you're not stronger, you'll keep getting weaker and weaker because of the pressure
Yes.
that it's giving your body. But also, like if you don't eat well, if you're not taking your vitamins properly, then it's just gonna keep extracting from your body.
Yes, for sure. Because remember one thing: a pregnancy, it's a selfish game. The child will always win.
Yeah.
The mother will never win, no matter what you do. So the bottom line here is: look, I've seen many women, and this applies to even men. Many women in this town are low on vitamin D3. In spite of us having so much sun, in spite of us having so much availability to real food, they're always low on vitamin D. And I wondered why.
Isn't it like an Asian thing? Like our skin is not meant to absorb D3 at the same rate as maybe like others.
Based on evidence, yes, Indians, it seems like we absorb. So you will see an Indian get darker if he goes to the beach. But if you do his blood work, you may not see enough of probably the amount of time he spent in the sun.
So it's not converting, basically.
It's not converting. So it's not converting. Basically, he's not absorbing enough. However, if you see in the local population, you'll see the guy, he's running from point A to point B on the Gogati. He doesn't even know what is vitamin D. He's not tired.
And their bones are like naturally
Natural,
so
yeah,
strong.
yeah, naturally so strong. So this is something got to do with also genetics and also our origins. However, also here, what we see is because there's a lot of Muslim population, so they cover themselves a lot with the abayas and the buibui. So that also is a big hindrance. So my advice to all is at least once a year, or if you can twice a year, do a blood check of your vitamin D3, because a lot of problems can start from there, especially joint problems, even mental health problems, even so there are some women who I've seen can't even conceive because of a small vitamin. And the whole idea of that vitamin is, we say it as a vitamin, but it's actually like a hormone that helps the body make calcium, helps the body make cholesterol, helps the body makes other form of hormones. So it's a vital vitamin that I can't emphasize more about it, you know.
I love that you said like the simplest things can cause big issues later on in life, but you don't understand what it could be because at that time you're like facing such a big issue. And I love that because I always tell my clients that it starts with the small habits and incorporating small things into your life. It's not like a major thing. Like later on, when you in your life when you have issues, they're issues that might have started with as simple as dehydration over a long period of time, that your body has like dried excessively because of lack of water, salt, sugar, the right type of water as well, right? Mineralized water, lack of sunlight, lack of like a balanced diet.
Yes.
Like just eating raw food or just eating one type of food can also lead to that imbalance.
Sorry to cut you off. Do you know the importance of vitamin D is so deep that when you will give birth, the first thing the doctor will tell you is give that kid
Yes.
4 IU.
Yeah.
A newborn the vitamin D is that deep that even a newborn needs it, and you need it all throughout your life till up until your death. You know?
And I remember like with my second child, the pediatrician even told me that for the next 6 months they have to be given D3 drops.
Yes.
And he said that we've been asked to prescribe this because they've seen more and more humans having deficiency in D3.
100%.
So it's a really interesting.
Because you must have heard of when you're in school medical condition called rickets, where bones are weak and stuff like that. But today, do you hear of those things? You don't hear of them because patients are being encouraged to use this, and we also educating patients to keep checking. You know, it's one of the most expensive tests if you go and do.
Really?
Yeah, it's big. That's when you look at that, that's the value of the test. And there's so much significance in a human's health that it's far beyond, you know, it's too deep to go into it as in how important it is and how valuable it is to human. This, especially, there's a lot of Shah community who are non-vegetarians, you know, so
non-vegetarians or vegetarians?
Sorry, vegetarians. I mean, they tend to be quite low on vitamin D because lack of meat or lack of eggs. It plays a big role in your life. So.
So getting a supplement is like
getting a supplement is most important. Important.
What are the other things that you would recommend someone that is pregnant or postpartum, like how to take care of their body in terms of whether it's supplements or movement?
So let's divide the pregnancy into 3 at least. Yeah, let's say pre-pregnancy, let's say during pregnancy, and let's say post-pregnancy.
Yeah.
Post-pregnancy also has 2 phases actually, because one is a normal vaginal birth and one is a cesarean section. So both have a different form of approach in terms of exercise, even sometimes in terms of food. However, let's start with the most easiest one, which is pre-pregnancy. Pre-pregnancy is basically you're planning to conceive. So in that phase is pretty much you're exercising, strength training to prepare your body to conceive. So anything that is intense in that phase is not fully advisable because there's a lot of jerky motions. Maybe you're doing a lot of jumping, dancing. So I would say take it easy. Just basic weight training would help. The first 3 months of conceiving now are very important in terms of, because there are high chances of a woman having a miscarriage in the first 3 months. Because of the hormone imbalance, your body is trying to adjust. Maybe some women experience a lot of nausea, vomiting, you know. So in this phase, I would advise a woman to just do basic stuff. Basic stuff meaning whatever you can do as per what your body can take. There are some women, maybe they don't go through the nausea and the vomiting. So you can carry on with the exercise that you are doing before you conceive. Post the first trimester, you can slightly increase the intensity of the exercise because science says naturally a woman tends to have more energy after the fourth month, especially. Between 4 to like 6-7 months, the woman has more energy because now is where actually the whole, we'd say in quote, the burn is baking, you know. So just basic cardio, basic weight training, just to keep yourself fit and have yourself more energy to do other tasks during the day, because your metabolic rate will be high. You'll be eating maybe more because you need to like feed the baby, you know. And the last trimester, yes, if you have been consistent doing exercises for the first 6 months, carry on with whatever you're doing. There is no harm. But if you are not and all of a sudden start exercising, that was just basic stretching. Because remember, during pregnancy, your joints open up, your muscles that stretch out. So it's very important to keep flexibility work, strength work going, to keep strong, so that when you're going to give birth, you're physically fit, mentally you're sound, because you have the energy to do what is needed. That I would put it at this. And you need to have somebody like me, who, or another therapist who is well versed in terms of the patient, not in terms of pregnancy, because every patient's requirement is different. Yes. So be in touch with the therapist, and try and adjust the routine, but make sure you do something.
So I heard you talking about cardio and strength.
Yes.
And I'm a firm believer that strength training or weight training is what takes you far. Takes
Yes.
us as women or as humans in general, takes us far. But also it's because my body type needs more strength training than cardio. So what are your thoughts on that?
At whatever age group you may be, okay, as an adult, naturally,
Yeah.
I would always encourage anybody to do a lot of weight training. Okay, so example, today you have your kids, yeah. I guess your older one is about 7, 8 years old. No, sorry, I'm
10.
sorry, 10, 10. Yeah. So that's the prime age to start weight training. Why? He's growing. Puberty will kick in soon.
Definitely.
The guy needs to be strong.
Yeah.
What will running around do to him right now? It's achieving nothing,
Yeah.
because he's run around enough in the past 10 years. So I would encourage you to make him do push-ups, make him do pull-ups. These are like common movements that we need to do on a regular basis. Example, I'll tell you, you go hiking. What do you need in hiking? You need your shoulders, you need your hands. Those are movements that are done unnaturally. So how would you replicate those kind of movements? By doing a pull-up, by doing a squat, because you need your legs. Today when we go up the stairs, you need your legs. So how will you build your legs? You build your legs by squatting. These are compound movements that are needed to grow. And these are, I would discuss on big muscles, legs, back, shoulders. These are big groups that always need work to be done on them. You know?
Yeah, and I really like that you brought that up, because it reminded me of this thing, like in the olden age, people used to do these natural movements.
Yes.
And have the weight training done naturally for
Yes.
them, because of their lifestyle and their lifestyle and their work life also, right? So these muscles did get those natural movements in nature, so that they could develop those areas that
Yes.
they needed the most. But in our lifestyle these days, we don't get, because it's so sedentary, like we're sitting most of the time. And even if we do cardio, it increases the heart rate and burns calories, but at the same time it's also degenerating your muscles.
So there's a fine line to that. I don't want to name anybody, but there's a very famous athlete. Yeah. If you look at him today, and I've asked many people, how old you think this guy is? When I talk of athlete, means this guy is a marathon runner. The guy is 35 years old or something. But when you look at him, he looks like he's 55. That's what marathon does to you. So why it does this to you? Because you need to be lighter. You need to have less muscle on you. So naturally, that form of cardio, that intense cardio, it starts chewing up your muscle. Because you'll naturally be eating less. Running is something that needs a lot of carbohydrates, so you won't eat a lot of protein. You won't be spending more time in the gym. So you'll want to feel lighter. How will you feel lighter? When your body weight is light. And body weight is not only fat, body weight is also bone density, also muscle weight. So naturally, that's what cardio does to you. If you look at marathon runners, they all look like tired, they all look sick. And they only have that specific years that they can run. You can't have you seen a marathon runner at 50? Never. He'll always be like 20, 25, 30 max. After that, his quality is gone because that's the stress the body has gone through. But if you look at a bodybuilder example, at 50 you'll think he's 30.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that? It's because, you see, your body is meant to survive. And when you run that much mileage, your body thinks I'm going into starvation mode, or your body thinks now, I have to store this what is left, because if tomorrow I don't get food, at least I have some food. But if you see a bodybuilder or somebody who's doing weight training, at least he'll always look fit, even if he doesn't get food for 5 days. He'll not look sick. That's what weight training does to you. If you think about it, it's deep.
Yeah, I completely understand that, because I feel like your body chews onto whatever is remaining to survive, right?
Yes.
Like it's natural way of functioning.
Yeah, that's your natural biology.
Whichever way possible. And thinking about like it in the form of Ayurveda, it also, too much cardio also dries your body on the inside. Like there's not enough lubrication, so it dries. So that's what also makes you age faster, because as you get older, you're getting drier by the day.
Yes.
And this it escalates that process much more.
So Ayurveda touches more on gentle moves or stationary moves rather than more like running or jumping. So it's more like a lot of yoga.
I feel like yoga is a mix of both. Yes, it increases your body rate, so it is a form of cardio, but it also works on your body weight strength.
Yes. What yoga emphasizes more on is muscle stretching. Yeah. So I don't mind yoga because it also helps your joints to really open up. But I would encourage my patients, if they can, do a bit of yoga, but also do weight training, because the yoga may help them relax from the weight training, helps encourage joint mobility, helps encourage flexibility, and many times I've seen patients like yoga because it mentally calms them down.
Definitely.
Now, why does that happen? It's because it's not only the exercise part of yoga that helps you calm down, but also because you are more into the movement consciously rather than unconsciously. So that takes your mind away from whatever is going on in your life and puts you into that exercise. Because it puts you into the exercise, it helps you calm down. So that's why patients after yoga, they'll say, I feel really nice, because you are into the movement, and most of the time yoga is done with a supervisor, with a trainer. So they're always trying to correct you, always taking you into that form of action. So it's a form of healing as well. It's a form of therapy.
I always say yoga is mindful movement. So it brings you into yourself and makes you focus on your body or whatever position you are in.
Yes.
But I heard you say how it stretches your muscles and increases mobility in your joints. And I used to do just yoga before, I remember. And you were the one that actually made me realize that I'm hypermobile.
Correct.
And how I would be stretching in all these positions and not feeling anything. But what worked for me is doing the weight training and then doing yoga, rather than doing yoga first and then strength training. So I feel like the sequence also matters, because with the strength training, as my muscles are developing, they're also getting tighter.
Yes.
So at the same time, when I'm stretching them, they're going back to it's like that push and pull
effect,
that helps it come to balance.
See, it's exercise is take it like a meal, okay? You don't have only rice.
Yeah.
You'll always have rice with curry or some sort of accompaniment with the rice.
Yeah.
So exercise is like that. If you do only weight training, you're at a loss. If you do only yoga, you're at a loss. So always think of exercise like a dish. Let's combine a starter. Let's combine a main course, and let's combine dessert, Dessert can be even 5 minutes meditation. So
I really like that example. It's so cool.
Don't make exercise like a ritual. Make exercise like a meal. Today you're not going to have the same breakfast today that you have tomorrow, or lunch today that you have. We always different.
Yeah.
So sometimes go even for a swim, go for a hike.
Yeah.
Something different than what you do every day. because your body is meant to move in different positions, different angles. There is nothing like this is good, that is bad. It is what suits you. You see? So do something that you love as long as you move, as long as you work out. This is medicine. Medicine is not, yeah, let's lift like this, let's squat like this. No. You do something that you love. Because when you do something that you love, your body will never get sick. Trust me on that. Because you'll always want to do it. You see, you'll always like when you have a meal that you like. Example, there are some people who like chicken tikka. Example, how do you feel after having that? You feel nice, yeah. So that's the way you have to exercise. Do something that you feel good, because that feeling good produces hormones.
endorphins.
Yeah, produces the endorphins, and that's what heals your body. So take exercise also as a healing. Just like food heals, exercise heals.
Yeah, not just other thing
Yeah,
to do to
yeah.
like lose weight, right?
Yes.
It's like a all-encompassing form
Correct.
of healing. Yeah, thank you for saying that. It's really powerful. I wanted to take you back to the mindset stuff that we were talking about, like how you don't just fix the pain or the concern surface level, but also understand the root cause of it. But what is the mindset that is required by the patient to understand that this is not just like a fix-it
Okay, so
solution?
I get what you're trying to say. Okay, let me ask you something. You are sick today with flu, cold, chest, whatever. Yeah? You go doctor. He gives a prescription. You went home and didn't take that prescription. Whose fault is it? It's not the doctor's fault. It's your fault as a patient. Now, you came to me because the kind of work I am in, where I need to treat the patient. I am the medicine of the patient. I'll do my work there. I'll help you. I'll go home. I'll tell you, Zia, once you're home, do this particular exercise, do this stretch. You didn't go and do it, and then tomorrow you ring me. Hey doc, I'm still the same, or I'm not feeling better. I did my part. Please go home and do your part, because just like the discussion that we're having about food and exercise, if we don't combine these two together, how will you get the outcome? So if I'm treating the patient, you go home, I'll tell you do A, B, C, D. And you didn't do A, B, C, D. You said, I didn't have time, I don't know, I went to sleep, I was tired. How are you going to expect you to feel better? So please, let's help each other, because this is the whole idea of therapy, whether it's mental or physical, is me and you both.
Definitely.
How I can help you, how you can help me. So once we are on the same page, you will naturally feel better. You will tell me, yes, thank you. And I'll also appreciate that, yes, this person actually listened to me.
Yeah.
You see? Because if it's, you have come to me because you trust me, yes.
Definitely.
So you trust me. So when you trust me, means whatever I'm telling you is gold. So you're supposed to take my voice as power, as something that, yes, this guy is coming from a point of authority, let me follow it. So the shortfalls that I face in my line of field is the back to patient cooperation. How is the patient cooperating with me? Okay, is this patient listening to me? And sometimes I can make out this patient is bluffing, or is lying, or is not want to follow. Yeah. So it's you know how to tackle those kind of cases. You know how to tackle. And there are some patients who really take matters seriously. And there are some patients who look at me as a form of, bro, fix me up today. I need to I need to get back to my game. Even a pro athlete is taken out of a game for like 2 games or 3 games, gets himself sorted, and then comes back to the game. So sometimes patients over expect from us, and we are helpless at times, because it's also a matter of your reputation. It's also a matter of, okay, how much are you giving back? What are you doing? So and let me tell you, let me share this point as well. Any form of sickness has a graph. Okay. What I mean is, if let's take example of malaria. A mosquito beat you today. Maybe you get the fever after 3-4 days. Okay. In that 3-4 days, because you're not feeling so well, you decide to take Panadol, whatever. After 4 days, you went to the doctor. Remember now, the sickness is at the 4th day. At the 4th day, you went to the doctor. You told him, doctor, I'm feeling really sick. He'll send you for tests, this, that. He'll give you particular medicine. You swallow one tablet and you feel like, yeah, this doctor, the medicine he gave me is the best. He helped me in one day, he sorted me out. But remember, for the past 4 days, you've been taking Panadol, and like I said, the sickness has a graph. So by the time you went to the doctor, the sickness was already going down. And the moment he gave you the tablet, you felt better. Remember, it's not the tablet, it's how the sickness behaves. It has a life cycle.
But malaria doesn't get better.
It's just an example.
Yeah, okay. So like a viral.
Like a viral, yeah.
Because that starts going down in
Yes.
3 days.
So
yeah.
it's just an example. So every condition has a life cycle. So sometimes you can go to therapist A and you're not better. But after 3 days, you went to therapist B and he sorted it out, and I'm like, yeah, this is the guy. So have trust basically in the process, and have trust in your therapist. Things will work out.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I know that you're known for talking about controversial things on your Instagram stories.
Yes.
So I wanted to touch on that. And I know we've had like a few debates on our DMs about it, and I really wanted to bring that here. The first one, I mean, the only one I remember, but after that we can look at your stories.
Yeah, sure.
Was about Ayurveda. I know that there was someone asked you a question about thyroid, I think.
Yes.
And you said Ayurveda cannot fix it.
Yes.
And I messaged you saying da-da-da-da-da, and we had a whole conversation about it. So why don't you tell me, like, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so the thyroid is just one thing, but
Yeah.
Ayurveda and medical conditions are too many, it's deep. So I come from a proper medical background.
Yeah.
So because I know that if you have thyroid, example, and you give certain medication like levothyroxine, it works.
Yeah.
Because it works. Why should I look at something else that is already correcting something that I need it to be corrected?
True.
I have some patients, yes, they say I don't want some medicine, and they'll, like example, diabetes. Many patients have diabetes. They'll say, example, let's do Karela. Yeah, the vegetable Karela.
The bitter herbs.
Yeah, bitter gourd, I think.
Yeah.
And your diabetes is at the sky level, and you want to take Karela. What's the basis of it? Just because you read a story on WhatsApp or you read a story on the internet somewhere, and you decided to just use it on you without any logic. There is concrete evidence that if I give you certain medication towards a certain problem, it works. Why would you mess your life cycle, or mess your head into taking something that is not proven? And even if you say there is some research, trials have to run deep. If pharmaceutical company is giving a certain drug, it's gone through testing, it's gone through human testing, it's gone through years of research. That's how they give the product to you. So you go to a doctor, you tell him my diabetes is high, give me Karela. How is it possible, Or you tell him I'm taking Karela to bring my sugars down, and here your sugars are high. Maybe now already you have other issues, complications related to the diabetes. How is the doctor supposed to help you?
I completely understand you being from a pharmaceutical background,
Yes.
that your explanation is completely valid. But here I have a few issues. First is the trend, people following trends without actually understanding the root cause of issues. Ayurveda, more than being treatment-based, it's more a lifestyle.
Yes.
Like, Karela is not to treat diabetes. Karela is something you should integrate into your body if you know that you have a genetical, or what do you call?
Predisposition.
No, yeah, exactly. Or it's been passed on to you. Like,
Yes.
if you have a family history of diabetes, then you know that there is a tendency of your blood sugar to rise.
Yes.
So it's something you should be incorporating in your daily diet, not when you're diagnosed with diabetes, right? So I feel like that's one of the concerns I have nowadays, because there are so many Ayurvedic herbs that are just being used left, right, and center, right?
Yes.
Like ashwagandha, shatavari, all
Shilajit.
these Shilajit, yeah. And I'm like, do you even know why you're supposed to use this? It's like buying over-the-counter medication, right? Like, you go and buy Panadol. Like, people buy Panadol and pop them like pills, every day, and they don't know that it's actually causing damage to their liver and kidneys or
Yes.
pancreas, right? It's same way applies to these Ayurvedic herbs and these remedies that people are just using left, right, and center without actually understanding, do they actually need this? Is there something that there is actually an imbalance in their body that requires this, and for how long? It's also the period, right? Like how long you take a medication
Yes,
for also
yes,
affects.
yes.
Same thing applies with Ayurveda.
See, the thing is sometimes because in this part of the world we don't have enough or we don't have that level of professionalism in terms of Ayurveda. Patients are just consuming them because maybe somebody went to India or Pakistan, they brought in their
It's
suitcase with them.
misinformation, yeah.
So, okay, you get sick here consuming that certain herb. Where will you go? Hospital,
Yeah.
correct? You're not going to go to Ayurvedic hospital.
Yeah,
Where is the
there's none
Ayurvedic
here.
hospital?
Yeah.
So that's what I tell patients that if you have consumed a certain herb or drug, Ayurvedic or homeopathic drug, you get sick. Where are you going to go? You will go to hospital. What will you tell the doctor? Doctor, I had this herb. The doctor has no clue
What it's about.
what this herb is doing to you. So you imagine the kind of dent or side effect you are giving to your system. It is so hard then for the doctor to treat the patient. Ultimately, maybe now you have some long-term issues that crop up because you took that particular herb. And I'm not saying this is being done in the younger population. This is mostly being done in the 50s, 60s patients who are on WhatsApp or
Yeah,
whatever.
TikTok. WhatsApp and
yeah.
TikTok have the most amount of unnecessary
So,
information.
so I tell them, you're already 60. You're already sick. Why are you doing this? Because you heard it from your friend or auntie, uncle who gave you this. If something happens to you, who's going to help you? What I usually tell the patients is, please don't do anything that is just
Haphazard.
haphazard or somebody, just because somebody told you. So don't do this. Just stick to what works and that's it,
Or I would say, like, to put it in another way, I would say, like, if you are looking for alternative methods of healing through medication, then create the right kind of awareness as
Yes.
to what your body constitution is. What are the imbalances from your natural body constitution and what it might need for how much period of time from an
Correct.
expert.
Correct.
Learn about it in detail. Then you will get a prescription from the Ayurvedic doctor or a lifestyle coach that will tell you, okay, you need to take this only for this period of time.
Yes,
And
I
only
don't.
this quantities. So and the same thing goes with buying multivitamins. You
Yes,
know, like
yes.
we go to, I'll not name stores, but we'll just go to stores, pharmaceutical stores, and buy these multivitamins, saying, "Oh, magnesium is really good for this,"
Yes.
or "This is really good for this, so I should get it." But we don't really know, without doing blood work, like you recommended, if you actually need that.
Correct.
And just buying it because you saw it on WhatsApp or TikTok saying this is really good for weight loss, or this is really good, this vitamin is really good for, I don't know, good skin or whatever, right?
Yes.
It can actually affect your body long term too. I feel like it doesn't apply just to the Ayurvedic herbs, but also to all these multivitamins that are readily available.
100%. I'll share the point that we already discussed some minutes ago regarding food. Even medicines like food, you're not going to consume like 5 chapatis in one sitting. Yes. So the same thing with medicine. They work the best if you have the right diagnosis and if you
Exactly.
have the right form of approach.
Exactly.
Prescription, this much, that much, you're good to go. Medicines are not harmful. It is how we consume them
Exactly.
that make them harmful, you see.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that should be the highlight
100%.
of this podcast, because it's so powerful, and I'm just tired of people like following trends blindly. Like even on my Instagram, I come across people sharing these things on their stories, and I message them. I was like, please just don't take it blindly. Do you know exactly what you're going through? Why you need this? What are the deficiencies that you have?
True.
So guys, please don't blindly follow trends. Seek an expert's help and advice before you medicate yourself or before you get onto a trend, and understand whether it's actually something that you really, really need, and how much of it and for how long. So yeah, that was a good one, because I'm glad we're able to clarify that. But thyroid is curable with Ayurveda because there is Ayurvedic hospitals in India that
Yes.
actually treat that. Here, of course, I completely understand that you don't want people to just self-medicate and then come to you when it's a problem, and just stick to what is available. And
I don't mind the patient can go to India.
India, yes, that's what I
Can
was
get
gonna
themselves treated, stay back, see how things are progressing. If it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm okay with that.
Should we go to your stories?
For sure.
What are the other things you think that you have like a strong opinion about
Sorry?
that not many people think clearly? Like I know we spoke about the strength and the cardio bit. I know that you have a strong opinion on that. We spoke about the medication.
I think the bottom line, this is not only in regards to medicine. This is also in regards to life. Do something that you know makes sense, and do something that is proven. Like get your head right and know what it is. Then do it.
And seek the right help.
Seek the right. I mean, there is help everywhere, but not all the help is equal to for everybody.
Yeah. Like, okay, so no
Help is tailored.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Help is tailored. You have a headache, I have a headache. Doesn't mean for both of us Panadol will work.
True.
Example.
It's just peppermint oil that can work sometimes.
That's your department.
But thank you for being here. Should we go on your stories or no? I won't take you there.
Okay.
I feel like we've got enough points that we discussed here. So thank you for sharing. But before we close, I do a little rapid fire round with all my guests.
Oh, nice.
To like ask some like questions that can help the guests to get to know you a little better.
For sure.
And maybe a little laugh sometimes. So are you ready for it?
Bring it.
So I loved that you were bringing out the particular things that I had questions about, and they'll be included here. So if your body was a car, what make and model would it be and why?
Wow. I think I would just put it as a company, so I would say Mercedes. Why? Because they don't break down.
Okay.
Not easy to break down, rather.
Okay, that's cool. Have you ever used your physical therapy skills on yourself?
Yes, but it's hard sometimes. It's hard because you can't reach all areas naturally, and also it's very difficult to treat yourself sometimes. So I would put my treatment as exercise.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool. What's the strangest thing you've ever used as a therapeutic tool?
Strangest things. Spiky ball.
If you could only do one exercise for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I would squat.
What's the funniest excuse you've heard from a patient for skipping their exercise?
My dog is sick. My dog is sick.
I never knew that. Yeah. If you could swap bodies with an athlete for a day, who would it be and why?
I think in today's life, in today's world, if we look at Cristiano Ronaldo, he's at his peak of age and he's at his peak of health. So he didn't get his health just overnight. He got his health through discipline. So he's the right example for discipline. So I would pick him any day.
What's the most rewarding part of your job besides seeing your patients recover?
The most rewarding part is the fulfillment that you're helping another soul is the best thing in the world. Because nothing can replace that.
Yeah. That fills your heart, right?
Yeah, it fills my heart.
If you could invent one magical physical therapy tool, what would it be?
That's I've not thought of that, but
like something that's missing in your industry that you'd like to do.
I think something that can take away somebody's pain, because pain is something really deep, and pain, like I put it at the beginning of our talk, is multifactorial. So I would put it as physical pain. If I can take away somebody's physical pain, it's the best thing in the world. With a tool.
Yeah. What's the biggest myth about pain that you wish more people understood?
Pain cannot just disappear. People think that do this, my pain will go. No. When somebody is telling you do A and pain will go, he's already put something like he's fixed his mind to that particular idea. So if I don't give him that idea, his pain will never go away.
Interesting.
Yeah. So example, if you tell me stretch my spine, yeah, and I don't stretch your spine, I stretch your hand, your pain will not go away.
Oh, it's also like the
Yeah, it's more like how the patient has already given himself the idea that I want to be treated in this particular manner. So if I don't do that, because many times patients have had different kind of therapists, they have traveled all over the world, so they'll say that therapist did that to me, so why don't you do the same thing? It's not possible to do the same thing, or it's not a must to do that particular treatment at that time.
true. What's one piece of advice you would give to someone who is just starting their journey towards pain relief?
Just exercise. You have to exercise whatever the pain, because pain cannot stop you from exercising. It like you are, even if you have pain, example today, you are going to wake up, do your chores, everything. So you got to walk.
What's the strangest home remedy for pain you've ever heard?
I know this is every household has this. Is the turmeric. They in I'm Indian, Gujarati. They say
Heard that?
haldi no lep. You
Yeah.
know, so I think that just doesn't work. There are better things than that.
Okay, I would disagree with that. I think it works for reducing inflammation, not necessarily pain.
Okay,
But I
man.
know it can be misconstrued
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Or I think somebody will say drink haldi and milk
Yeah.
to help you with your immunity and stuff like that. I mean, a pinch of haldi and your whole body, maybe you're 80 kilos, where will that pinch go?
But sometimes you don't need more than a pinch of a herb.
You know better than that.
What's your daily non-negotiable habit for your wellness?
Black coffee and 5 grams of creatine. That's a must.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so to finish this off, what's one piece of advice that you would give to the audience after they have listened to the whole packet of information?
No matter what you may be going through in your life, whether it's mental health, whether it's physical health, whatever it may be, make sure you get in any form of exercise, and at whatever stage you are in life, whether you are a pregnant woman, whether you are a grandmother, whether you're a working woman, whatever you may be doing, 20 minutes, don't compromise. Even if it's climbing 2 flights of stairs, I'm okay with that as long as you've done something.
That's great. I think that'll be really
It's something simple, something you can do anywhere, anytime. And anybody on this earth can do that.
definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, and
Welcome.
thank you for being here
for sure.
and sharing with us and educating the audience. We have a little present for you
Nice.
for being here and being so
Thank you so much.
open to share.
Anytime.
Thank you to our gift sponsors for this season, Oyana East Africa, Green Thing Kenya, and Jars of Goodness. And a big thank you to you guys for watching yet another episode of Wellness Deconstructed. Remember, share, comment, like, and subscribe because your support means everything to us. Until next time, keep prioritizing your well-being.